Good morning. We're going to talk about why Oak Hills is the West Side's best kept secret. Stay tuned to learn more. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Paul Clem with the Oregon Relocation Team coming to you from Oak Hills today. And Oak Hills is a very unique neighborhood on the west side of Portland, basically in Beaverton schools, but it's a census designated place in unincorporated Washington County. So anybody living in Oak Hills is basically going to say that they live in Beaverton. This is one of these communities that is north of Highway 26. So central Beaverton and most of Beaverton is south of Highway 26. On the north of Highway 26, you get rolling hills, you get some nice wooded areas, a lot of green space, so and a lot of unincorporated areas too. So you're not necessarily in Beaverton proper, but again, it's going to live and feel a lot like Beaverton. Now, this region of the metro area, this north of Highway 26 unincorporated Washington County area, is primarily taken up by three main areas. Cedar Mill, which we've covered, a great area, a little bit closer to Portland, and then you have Bethany, which actually was just rated the top place in Oregon to raise a family, so the top suburb in Portland, so the top suburb in the state actually. Oak Hills, where I'm at today, just south of Bethany, is rated the fourth best suburb to raise a family by niche.com. So this is quintessential, picturesque suburban living, but with a twist, because a lot of what you get in suburban areas, especially the further away you get from the city, you're going to get newer development and more dense residential development, you know, smaller lots, things like that, where you might have nicer homes in some cases or bigger homes. In most cases, you have these small lots and houses are kind of built on top of each other a little bit more, whereas in Oak Hills, this is a true mid-century development. I think they broke ground in here in like 1965, and you have a lot of larger lots. So pretty much every house in this neighborhood has a yard, and I know that's important to a lot of people. So if you're looking for an older community with maybe a little more historic charm, with larger lots, more of a yard, this would definitely be a place to look. Okay, and if you are thinking about moving to the Portland metro area, and if you want to learn more about Oak Hills or other neighborhoods that are similar, or talk about other areas that might suit your needs, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link down below in the description of the video. Schedule a Zoom call with us and we can talk more about it. So like I mentioned, Oak Hills is a highly rated place for a number of reasons. Great place to raise a family, highly rated schools, you know, checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people looking for that type of environment. Oak Hills is also on the National Historic Registry of, or National Registry of Historic Places. It's the only mid-century development to have that designation in the state of Oregon, and one of the youngest in the country. So there are some neighborhoods in Portland proper that are more like turn of the century, early century, you know, early 1900s neighborhoods that do have this designation. But again, they broke ground here in the 60s. So the layout, the style of homes, the amenities, just the overall makeup of this community, you know, I think led to, you know, having that type of recognition, you know, where again, it has this kind of national designation, and it really is a pretty special place. Hey, before we go any further, if this is your first time to the channel or you've been here and you haven't already and you want to get more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button, tap the little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. All right, what makes Oak Hills such a special place to live? Well, again, you know, you have all these amenities, you have all these designations, so it has these accolades, but you know, what is it about it that actually makes it a good place to live, a safe place to live, a good place to raise a family, that sort of thing? Well, you have a lot of privacy in this area. So Oak Hills, you know, the census designated area is a little bit bigger than the actual HOA community here where I'm at today, where you have about 650 homes, and you have a ton of privacy where you have these main roads, these main kind of thoroughfares bordering the perimeter of Oak Hills. So you have 143rd to the east, you have West Union to the north, you have Bethany Boulevard to the west, and then you have Cornell or Highway 26 to the south. So that really creates kind of this very insulated area where, I mean, sure, you're going to get people cutting through potentially, but there's not going to be a ton of through traffic or anything like that. So that makes for a very quiet, very laid back, very peaceful type of environment where, you know, you don't have any commercial development in this area. You know, you do have some community areas like the rec center, like the elementary school, and like some of these green spaces, and we'll talk more about that. But by all accounts, this is a very tight-knit community. I think the HOA itself has a lot to do with that. So despite your opinions on HOAs, I mean, some can be restrictive, some not as restrictive. At the end of the day, you're just dealing with people. So the HOA enforces the CC&Rs for a community, which are all typically pretty similar, but it's going to depend on who's actually enforcing them and, you know, how strictly they're enforcing them and that sort of thing. So, you know, that probably turns over every few years too, depending on who you're dealing with. So when you move into an HOA community, you do have to know what you're getting into to some extent, where, you know, it might be pretty laid back today. It could be a little more restrictive tomorrow. But I think overall an HOA is in place to kind of preserve the integrity of a community, kind of to preserve the overall enjoyment of a community for the people who live in it. And one great benefit too of living in an HOA is you have a lot of common area maintenance. So, you know, you have all these green spaces and sports fields and things like that. And the HOA is going to make sure that they are in good working order and that they're usable. In fact, I don't know if you can hear it, but you can see, you know, they're out mowing the lawn today. I just came on a random morning and they're out here, you know, doing some of that landscape maintenance. So, you know, that's something that you're going to get where you have all these amenities and, you know, things that make this type of community more enjoyable, and you actually have people in place enforcing that. And, you know, everybody has a vote, everybody has a say in things. And, you know, that being in that type of community, again, you're dealing with people, so you never know what you're going to get. But I think most people are pretty reasonable, and most people want the same thing out of a community like this. And if Oak Hills sounds like an interesting place to live, I mean, just go to their website and you can see all of these things that they offer, all of the amenities, all of the events. I mean, the association is known for being very event oriented, and they coordinate and the association is known for being very event oriented. They coordinate their famous 4th of July celebration. They do an Easter egg hunt. They do a Halloween party, holiday events for the residents. The recreation department offers swim classes, tennis lessons, summer activity programs, and the opportunity to participate in a swim team that actually competes at the state level. So the association facilities include a large swimming pool. They have a smaller swimming pool. They have a gym. They have a playground area, tennis courts, these sports fields that I'm in right now, parks, walking trails, and they have an RV parking lot too, which is kind of cool because most HOA communities rather are going to be pretty restrictive on what you can park on the street and what you can park out front of your house. So, you know, things like campers, trailers, RVs, boats. Most HOA communities are going to say you can't park those things out front. You know, you might be able to park them on your property if they are, you know, enclosed somewhat behind a fence or in a larger garage or something like that. So the RV parking area, it's kind of, you know, enclosed or gated, so you can't really get in there. But if you look at a map, you can see where all these are parked, and you have this big area, this big storage area for people to park, you know, their recreational vehicles, whatever it may be. Okay, so where are we at in the Portland metro area? You know, I mentioned we're on the west side. We are close to Cedar Mill and Bethany. This area north of Highway 26. Highway 26 is an east-west corridor that runs through the Portland metro area. On the west side, it's referred to as the Sunset Highway. And on the west side, you'll start downtown, up and over the Vista Ridge Tunnel, and it's going to go west through Beaverton and then through Hillsboro and then all the way out to the Oregon coast. So having that access to Highway 26 gives you very quick and easy and convenient access to downtown Portland, or into Hillsboro, maybe if you're working out in kind of the Silicon Forest area. If you want to get out to the beach from time to time, you're going to be, you know, a lot quicker out there living here than if you were in Portland proper, or in particular on the east side of Portland. In a lot of ways, this is a very, very suburban region of the metro area. So you're going to have all of the big box stores you need. You're going to have access to plenty of restaurants, a lot of strip malls and things like that. It's not completely cookie cutter, and you get these different little pockets, you know, on the north side of 26 or in Beaverton or even in Hillsborough as a whole, where you can get in some of these kind of older, more historic feeling areas, or, you know, more newer, kind of newly developed areas, and everything in between. So plenty of options for things to get out and do, plenty of great opportunities for shopping. You're pretty close to the streets of Tannisbourne, which is a open air mall just in between Beaverton and Hillsborough in this area called Tannisbourne. So you do have a shopping mall out here, and again, really everything you need. Plenty of opportunities for grocery stores, again, big box stores, your Home Depot, Lowe's, etc. All going to be within 5, maybe 10 minutes. All right, so what's the housing market doing in Oak Hills? It's a unique dynamic because this is an area that a lot of people will hold out for, whether it's an area that they grew up in and they know how special it is, or if it's an area that, you know, once somebody gets to learn more about it, they realize this is the type of community they want to be in. There's not a lot like this in the Portland metro area. I mean, there's HOA communities, there's communities built around this time that have kind of the aesthetic. There's areas that even have similar amenities as far as parks and things like that, but there's only one Oak Hills here for sure. So people will hold out, and there is kind of a unique demand for Oak Hills specifically. Now, on the other hand, I've seen a lot of properties sit on the market for a long time in this area. So I think the biggest reason for that is because most of these homes are 50 years or older, 50 years old or older. So, you know, with older homes, you could be inheriting more potential issues as far as roofs that need to be replaced, electrical that needs to be upgraded, plumbing that needs to be upgraded, overall just cosmetic updates that are needed. You know, the older a community gets, the more potential there is with the homes in these communities to need, either minor or potentially significant work done to them. So a lot of the houses that I've seen sit on the market in Oak Hills have cosmetic issues. You can see the roof needs to be replaced. Maybe the landscaping's kind of dated a little bit. I mean, you know, they're not going to let you get too wild in here, but I've been through a lot of houses in this area that it's just like, when you look at it as a whole, you know, maybe you need to come in and spend 50 grand right out of the gate, or 150 grand or a couple hundred grand because you need to remodel the kitchen and the bathrooms and maybe do new flooring and, you know, paint and all of these things that can really add up. So depending on the type of market, you know, whereas there's always going to be a pretty strong, steady demand for this area, you know, if it's a little bit of a slower market, more of a buyer's market, really good opportunity to get in here into a really special neighborhood, an area that's really going to hold its value, but maybe get a little bit of a deal. I think if the market's really ripping and inventory's low, kind of like it's been the last several years, and if rates are, you know, down or coming down, you're going to start to see this area, you know, be one of the faster moving areas in all of the Portland metro area. So if Oak Hills is an area that sounds interesting, if you want to learn more about areas that have some similarities, if you want to learn more about, you know, areas that are completely different from this type of area, whatever it may be, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link down below in the description of the video. Schedule a Zoom call with us. We can talk more about it. You know, if this video was helpful, make sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, tap the little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. As always, we really appreciate you watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.